Good morning, everyone. How exciting is this? It's Monday morning. We are back with you live for another morning show. Last week, when it was a holiday, it was like, what am I going to do with myself Monday morning? So anyway, I am so excited to be here with you guys because you are incredible. So I love all of your support and I love all your comments and messages and just telling me how much you enjoy the show. I am so thrilled to hear those messages. So thank you so much for all your kind words and support. And guys, I have a great show lined up for you today. So right now we have Harry sitting waiting for us. But before that, I'm going to share my weather because I like being a weather girl. So this weather girl gets to tell you all the things that she thinks about the weather. I think that's the beauty of like being a weather girl. I can tell you what I think about the weather and nobody can say otherwise because I'm the weather girl. So let's jump right into it, shall we? Excellent. And don't forget, we are brought to you by our amazing, amazing sponsors. So let me give you that list of sponsors right now. We have Fabricland Winkler, Loeppky Auto Sales, Cindy Grenier Realtor, Pembina Physiotherapy, Pure Anada, Wolfe Enterprises, and last but definitely not least, Evolve Green. We have some amazing sponsors and they are always there to support us. And I just absolutely love that. So we're going to go ahead and share our window. Let's see here. Let's see if this works. Are we on? We're good. All right, guys. So right now, our temperature is 5 degrees. Okay, 5 degrees. Do you know what that means? Like last week at one point, when I looked at the weather, it was minus 45 with the wind chill. Now, even if we take into consideration the -3 here, what it feels like, that's a 42 degree jump. 42 degrees, guys. Like we are seriously, oh my goodness, I can't even imagine. This is like fantastic. We have jumped so many degrees and we are still alive. So let's just put it that way. So today we are looking at a high of +8 degrees. It's going to be breezy. I see it's breezy outside already, but that's totally okay with me. So +8 with a low of -2. And tomorrow we're looking at a high of +2 with a little bit of flurries in the afternoon with a low of -10. Oh, I am just so excited. I love the fact that we are finally in what feels like springtime. But I know it's not springtime because it really is not springtime. I know that. But anyway, it is wonderful to be here. So join me while I introduce Harry, while I bring Harry on this morning. I'm so excited to chat with him. Good morning, Harry.
Good morning. Hey, just right off the top, a shout out to all your sponsors.
Yes.
You know what? Thank you so much. Without the sponsors, we just absolutely can't do this. And and that's why we want to continue to make the show better and better and better, so that the sponsors get more and more and more responses to their advertising. You know what? I live and die by advertising. I have for 50 years, and it's so good to see that. So just again, thank you for having me on. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. It's my pleasure every single time. So what are we going to share today, Harry?
Well, first off, I've got so much to talk about, so I got to make sure I don't run on and run out and do whatever, like right. So many inexperienced speakers do. You always get to that point where somebody has so much to say and then they, and before you know it, they haven't said anything.
Right? And, yes, that's me.
Today, Tom Tightrope is a good friend of mine from the Interlake, and we've talked about him before. He's a cattle rancher, has about 400 to 450 cows and calves. Hopefully by this April, they're going to start calving. But I did a chat with him on what he does with cold weather and cattle outside, because I saw a story out of Louisiana where this one ranch lost 16 calves in one day. Ooh, 16 calves in one day because of cold weather. They weren't ready for the kind of weather, and they didn't have our weather. But, there they were putting calves into bathtubs, into hot tubs of water, everything, just to try and keep them alive.
Right.
And yes, and so they don't have the shelter. But here's what Tom Tightrope told me about what he does. He says when the weather hits -20, he says anytime after that, any minus 10 degrees, you've got to up the feed. So he does two things. He finds out, he lives in that treed area. He's got a lot of treed areas. So he tries to keep the cattle on the proper side where they can have the shelter from the wind. He says, and secondly, to make sure that he has ample feed. And he called it volumes of feed, because I feed them everything they can eat.
Okay.
And he says, basically, once it hits the minus 30 and minus 35, he says they don't gain. The target gain for a cattle producer like him is like about 2 pounds per day.
Okay.
But he says when you hit minus 40, you don't even think that. He says they might gain a little bit, but he says cattle, if looked after properly like that, they are God's creatures. He created them, right? They have back fat, they have fur, and if you've kept them healthy and you get them into shelter and where they can calve and be looking after themselves, then things don't. He doesn't even think of losing a calf. Then I go right back to that man in Louisiana, which is sad, because he said this week they would lose about 94% of all their calves.
Wow, sir.
Yes, I mean that's their income. That's your advertising. You know, and it's their income. So that's so when I compared those two, I found that very interesting, because Tom had given me, and he's a top-notch rancher. He's I like to go to him on these things. So yes, and so he says it's not, you're not gaining feed, but you're making sure you keep your animals healthy, sheltering them, and by feeding them as much energy, protein as they can eat.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's the first. The second point I talked about Tom about, and that has to do with the whole stability. You have agri-stability, which is a federal government. Right now we have he said, she said kind of duck, and one guy ducks, one doesn't. But the agriculture minister, Minister Bibu, the federal minister of ag, she had a meeting before Christmas that and there they had the other ag ministers involved, and this agri-stability is an insurance program that is run jointly by the federal government and the provincial governments.
Okay.
So the federal government upped the ante and said, yeah, we're going to improve it, but we need all the provincial governments to be online with us. Well, in Manitoba, Blaine Peterson, and this is what Tom Teichrob said, he says, Mr. Peterson, our ag minister, you've got to look at those changes, because those are the changes we need in the agricultural industry to keep moving ahead. It's not a handout. It's an insurance policy. They pay into it, but they need it to be a little bit higher so that it can pay out properly. So that was my second point today. And then the other, do I have a bit of time yet?
Yes, absolutely you do.
And the third point has to do with, again, the federal minister of agriculture announced Canada Food Policy Committee on last week Friday, and I was in on that conference, and boy, it just tore me apart, because here we produce most of the food in Canada, here in Western Canada, but we have only two people from Western Canada on a 23-member committee on Canada food policy. It's right, and it's almost, I can't believe it. And the one fella is Larry McIntosh, and from Winnipeg, peak of the market, bless his soul, he's great. But he represents only a very small number of the vegetable producers.
Right.
And we have another student from Saskatoon, a master's student, and he's on there. The rest are all from Eastern Canada. And so they want to set food policy for all of Canada. And they said, yes, there's some farmers on it, but at the same time, only token farmers. So I'm really looking to see what's going to happen with that food policy, because it's lack of control. And our farmers in Canada don't need more control. They are as good a farmer as you can find anywhere in the world. So that was my other point. And then together with that is a farm organization that claims to have 20,000 members. We don't know where they're from. They want the federal government to come up with $300 million in the next budget to help the farmers deal with climate change. And again, I'll get into that some other time because I know I'm running out of time. But
no worries.
Those are the issues that are there for me to consider today. And as I told you before, I've been struggling with the whole aspect of falling on December the 20th.
Yes.
And yesterday I find out I've got 2 broken ribs. So I got to heal, and I keep healing. And but I was happy to be on with you this morning. So.
And it's always my pleasure to have you here.
Somewhere, somehow, sometime, I will see you again, and that's Siemens Says.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on, Harry. All right, guys, bear with me here just a little bit. It looks like we are having a little bit of technical issues this morning, but I hope that you can still hear me. So if anybody who's in the broadcast studio can just give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me, even though my show is glitching, give me a thumbs up. And if you can't hear me, we are not good to go. And this happens. This is exactly what happens. This tech issue stuff is always fantastic. But so we are going to, give me 1 second here. I'm going to play a commercial and I will be right back.
Why go solar? It's not just for the environment, although that is a great reason. Did you know that when you install your new solar plant, you are only paying 7 cents per kilowatt? That's right, 7 cents. Solar is now cheaper than buying electricity, 25% cheaper than buying it from Manitoba Hydro. Going solar is different from any other investment you will make in your life, as you will retain the value on your roof. Solar does not depreciate like other investments do, and unlike a GIC, your investment will start paying you from day one. And when you choose to sell your home, well, you will get the cost of the solar back, as this investment rarely depreciates. When choosing solar, look for high-end products like microinverters with 10 to 25-year warranties. Make sure your installation is done by a professional. We are Evolve Green, and we are celebrating 12 years in the industry and can help you put your roof to work for you. Ask also about your options like battery backup for when the grid fails, and how about solar heaters to get rid of snow buildup. Are you a farm or a business? Did you know that your solar is a 100% tax write-off? Yes, that's right. You can write off all the cost for the solar in the year you purchased it. This is a perfect investment for any business. In Manitoba, the portion a resident customer sells to hydro is also a tax write-off in the first year. Farms pay no PST on solar systems. We build, design, and supply the best in solar power for both on and off the grid. For experts you can trust, call or email Evolve Green today. 1-866-5-EVOLVE or support@evolvegreen.ca.
Okay, let's see. I think I may have resolved a little bit of the technical issues. Let's just wait for it to catch up for a second here. And then we're going to talk to Chris McPherson. He is going to share with us some amazing stuff from Gallery Wealth Management. So join me while I welcome him here this morning. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you. You betcha. Thanks for joining me here this morning.
You bet. First time on TV, I think. Well, not first time on TV, but first time like this, I guess.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's very wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So tell me, Chris, tell me a little bit about yourself, and then let's go into what you're here for this morning.
Oh, about myself. Geez.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm on here as a financial planner, but outside of that, family guy, 4 kids, just became a grandpa last week.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't, that's a weird thing to say.
No, congratulations. That's
Thanks.
not weird at all. You betcha.
I'm riding my mountain bike in the summer. And
awesome. That's great. I love to always get to know a little bit about the people that are on here because it is a connection. So it's wonderful. Good
Absolutely.
stuff, Chris. So tell me what you do as a financial planner.
Oh, that's a big world. So I mean, to keep it simple, I mean, on the one side we have the insurance side, which is helping protect people's plans so that as they go through life, most people are trying to save for retirement, and we want to make sure that if something goes wrong along the way, they're still taken care of, or their family's still taken care of, depending on what that situation is.
Yes.
And then on the investment side, of course, is the actual investing of funds to grow for their retirement or whatever their goal happens to be.
Right.
But that would be, so there's the investment part of it. There's also the planning part of it, and making sure that they achieve their goals over the long run.
Awesome. So what is it that you want to share with us today? What would you like all of our watchers, our viewers to know?
Oh, well, today's little talk is about RRSPs and the upcoming deadline of March 1st. So you've got a week.
Yeah, right? It's almost March 1st. This is ridiculous. So
yeah, I can't even believe it.
Yes, definitely. So what should I know about my RRSP investment? What should I do? Who should I talk to? Tell me a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So the thing that people need to work on is just having some teamwork between their financial planner and their accountant, and finding out if RRSPs are actually a good option for them.
Right.
See, in a lot of cases, people, they know that if they do an RRSP contribution, they might get a tax break, but they also know that in retirement, when they take that money out, they have to pay tax on it, and they're not sure, is it worth it?
Right.
And so the one thing that people tend to forget, though, I always call it the bonus, is if you have children at home, you have childcare benefit.
Yes. And
childcare benefit is based on your family's taxable income.
Okay.
And so how RRSPs work is, let's use an example. Let's say someone makes $50,000 a year.
Okay.
But they put $5,000 in their RRSP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, this little bit here that they've already paid tax on this, generally speaking, as an employee through their paychecks to their employer, right?
Right.
And in Canada, we have this graduated tax rate. So you have I pay a little tax or no tax here, and then a little bit more, and a little higher percentage. And so the last bit of money you make in the year pays the most tax percentage-wise.
Okay.
And so when you take that RRSP contribution and you're getting that percentage back, you're getting it back on the biggest part.
Right.
And then, so you've reduced your family income as well, which then increases your child care benefit. So you're getting two kind of benefits there. I'm going to get more money every month for my child care benefit. I'm also going to get a break on my taxes either owing or it's going to increase my refund. So the best way to do it is, contribute to a tax-free savings account all year long. First 60 days of the year, talk to your accountant and your financial planner and say, hey, should I contribute to an RRSP? And if so, how much?
Yes.
And they can tell you that number, get it done, and reap the benefits.
Wonderful. Well, that sounds absolutely fantastic. So that does make sense too, when you're reducing the amount of income that you've had for the year, that does bring you down into a different bracket, right? So that's wonderful. And someone like me would have no idea where I sit with that. So I do talk to my accountant. I ask him and he tells me what I need to do. So that's exactly it.
Accountants rule the world, and the financial planners are the quarterbacks, I will say.
Awesome. That is wonderful. So Chris, how can people get a hold of you? How can people chat with you about stuff like this?
Reach out to me on email, Facebook. You can text me. I've been, as you can see, I'm growing the COVID from home beard I don't normally have.
Yes.
So, I've actually only done, I think, when allowed, I've done 6 in-person meetings since last March.
Wow.
Most of it's been just like this.
Yes.
And I don't feel like this is any less friendly. I actually like it a lot. So, Chris at gallerywealth.ca. You can Google me. It's pretty easy to get a hold of me. But the great thing that I want everybody to know is that RRSP contributions can be done in 10, 15 minutes over a Zoom call or a phone call. You don't need to do the in-person meeting if you are worried about staying protected. We do have a mask/screen policy at our office. If you do need to come in, we can keep everyone safe doing that as well. So
yes, absolutely. Wonderful. So I've got your website, gallerywealth.ca. I've got that shown on the bottom of the screen here. So that's perfect. So they can contact you through that and then go from there.
You bet. There's I'm there, and so is Reg Braun. So there's two of us to help you.
Excellent.
And there's a 4-person team as well.
Wonderful. That is really wonderful there. So thank you for those tips. I really appreciate it. I cannot believe we're this close to March 1st.
1 week. Yeah.
It is incredible. I don't even know where it's gone. So that's it. But at least we have the springish weather right now to go with it. So
yeah, 6 today or something. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, right? It's going to be amazing. So I'm happy about that. Well, thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate you coming on here with me. Yeah, definitely. Wonderful. So we'll talk to you again very soon here. And hopefully you get to give some really great advice to these people.
Absolutely. Happy
All
to do
right. You betcha. See you later.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, guys. So next up we have Greg Zimmerman, and he's going to talk to us from the Altona Fire Department. Look at me freezing in my frame with my thumbs up. This is really good. Anyway, we've got Greg Zimmerman from the Altona Fire Department. We're going to talk about volunteering. Are you ready for this? This is going to be so much fun. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Maria. How are you?
I am fabulous. How are you doing?
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Good. Wonderful. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Greg.
Well, I'm here on your show. How's that?
Yeah, that's great. Absolutely. I'm so thankful you're here too.
Yeah.
Really well.
No, I'm currently, as you know, the fire chief for Altona Rhineland Emergency Services. I've been in the fire service as a career firefighter for 42 and a half years. So it's been a little while. I'm in sort of the twilight now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are. Absolutely. So let's talk about volunteering. Tell me all the things, and I'll ask you the questions if I have them, but tell me all the things about volunteering for the fire department.
Well, I think volunteering for the fire department I think it's an excellent idea. What it does is it allows you to join a community group that is actually giving back to the community. It's sort of a multifaceted type organization. When you join the fire department, it's not all about firefighting. That is the big part of it. But we also work within the community. We do a little bit of fundraising for local charities. We're out supporting different organizations wherever we can, and a lot of that's just by being there in person and doing whatever we need to do.
Mm-hmm. Right, and that's wonderful. So, how does somebody get started volunteering for the fire department?
Well, it'll be different for every department, and I would certainly encourage everybody that's listening, if they live in a community, to go to their local fire hall when you see all the trucks parked there, and talk to the members that are there and inquire about joining there. For our department, you come in, you fill out an application. We bring you in for an interview where we will talk to you, ask you some questions, provide a bunch of information, and answer any questions you may have about what is expected from you in the fire department.
Right. That is wonderful. That's really wonderful. So let's say I wanted to volunteer for the fire department. Tell me, what is something that I could do? Now, I am not physically able to probably even hold a fire hose as a 6th or 7th person. Let's say, like, there's no way. Okay. So, but tell me, is there anything that I could do as part of the volunteer fire department?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, people have to remember that this is a community department.
Yeah.
It's not like Winnipeg and a professional department. We're a small community department. We have numerous jobs for everybody. Some people are able to fight fires, some aren't. But there are many, many other jobs. You can learn to drive the truck, be a pump operator. You can learn to be like a support person from the outside. There's traffic crowd control. There's a radio room and dispatch. There's somebody that can be on standby for medical. So there's many, many other jobs that a person can do.
Oh, I guess I never even thought of that there are so many outside jobs other than just going to fight the fires. You
Oh,
can be somebody who can drive the truck. You can be somebody who can help, direct traffic, those kind of things.
absolutely. And we make use. We have a few people on the department. They won't fight fires, but they're very helpful in a lot of other areas. And what everybody forgets is all those jobs have to be filled and have to be done. So.
Right, exactly, absolutely. As a volunteer, do you have to live in the Altona RM of Rhineland area in the Altona Fire Department?
Yes, you need to be in the RM or within town. Normally, we'd like you to be within 5 or 6 minutes of the fire hall.
Yes, that makes sense. Absolutely, because you want people who can respond quickly.
That's correct.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, well, that's good. What else should we know? Greg?
Well, I hear again, I guess this is my opportunity to do a little pitch.
Yeah, it is.
Because I do, we're always looking for new members, and when people get on, if you're new to a community, this is a great way to get to know a lot of people in your community in a very big hurry.
Right.
It's also a very honored and respected position within a community. Most people, when they look and they know that you're a volunteer with the local fire department, they have a little bit of respect for you because you're committing your time to the benefit of everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
And I know our department as well. We do run, when it's not during COVID times,
yes.
We do run a cadet program where we bring in grade 11 and 12 students. And we've had a great program in the past. Usually 50% of the students that partake join the fire department when they're 18.
Oh, really?
It's a wonderful thing.
That is really neat.
It's also the opportunity for young people to try out, see if they're interested in the career of firefighting. If you are interested in firefighting, you come join the fire department. We'll provide all your training for free, and you just provide the service to the community in the interim.
Yes, absolutely. That is really wonderful. Greg, where can people find more information about this?
Well, some departments have really good websites. Mine's a little iffy.
Okay.
But usually try going on to a website.
Okay.
Like I say, the best thing to do is show up at the fire hall when you see members there and ask them.
Yes, absolutely. Excellent. Well, then that's good. That's what people should do then at this point so that they can get involved in their community. And you're right. It is a prestigious, position to be able to volunteer for the fire department. It's a way for you to give back. And so that is really great and very honorable. Absolutely. So we thank you for your service. I mean, that is really wonderful. That is 40, what did you say, 41 years?
42 and a half years. It'll be 43 years July.
Wow. Wonderful. That is amazing. Amazing.
It's been a wonderful time. I enjoy every moment of it.
Absolutely. Well, Greg, thank you so much for sharing with us this morning. I mean, that is wonderful. I would have never thought I could actually be somebody who could maybe volunteer for the fire department. Never in my life. So
absolutely. Like community departments should have room for everybody.
Yes, absolutely. Well, that is so wonderful. I just never, ever put myself in that, frame of mind. So that's great. Thank you so much for sharing that with us today.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Definitely. And we'll hopefully have you on again when COVID is over and we can, talk about those little things that, how we can do when the restrictions are lifted, how we can come and visit you guys over at the fire department.
Oh, there's always a ton of stuff to discuss here. And, we can always fall back on the fire safety at some point in time.
Hey, that's actually a fantastic idea. I will note that. Let's do something with that.
Excellent.
For sure. All right, Greg, have yourself a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you, Maria.
All right, you bet, dear. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, again, I love that it slows me down and then I get put in the frame really fantastically here. That's all right. Guys, This is going to be a fun spot here this morning. I've got Peter here with me this morning, and we are going to talk about insurance, cyber insurance. And so welcome me as we bring him on here this morning. I think I said welcome me. I mean welcome Peter this morning. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Maria. How are you doing today?
I am doing very well. And yourself?
Fine, thank you. I wish I had the nice studio backdrop that you do, but I'm in a makeshift office at home instead of being in my regular office. So it's a little more casual than I'm used to.
Absolutely. And it works really wonderful, right? It's totally okay. So
yes,
gotcha. Good stuff. Cyber insurance, Peter. What are we talking about when we talk about cyber insurance?
So cyber insurance is a new threat vector, as we call it in insurance. Insurance has traditionally always been about property, casualty, and your health and your wellness and financial tools. But cyber is the new vector because we live in a connected world. And even the things that you don't even understand that are connected in some ways. And we used to have the internet. Now we have the Internet of Things. And those things are in your house. And cyber insurance helps you protect the threats to those things that are connecting you to the outside world.
Right. So it is absolutely necessary for all of us.
It's necessary in a lot of capacities. There's different ways of looking at it. From a standpoint with personal insurance, cyber is important. It's a threat vector you need to look at if you operate a business from home, if you have various degrees of connected services in your house and stuff, you may want to consider that. But if you're a business, it's a very important coverage now. Identity fraud, identity theft, funds fraud, ransomware. All you have to do is ask any one of your business colleagues, have you ever not been able to use your computers at work, and why was it? Chances are they're going to have a virus story, and chances are there's going to be a thing called ransomware that's been installed unbeknownst to them, that they weren't able to use their computer system, their network, or anything because it was being held for ransom. So how do you address that when it happens? It's not like it's a fire and you just put out the fire.
Put it out. No. Do you when you have, so ransomware, that's something new to me. That shocks me. They could lock down someone's computer and be like, hey, you're going to pay me to be able to use your computer.
Yes, that's it. You're going to pay me to use your computer. And then they want it done in Bitcoin through various cryptocurrencies. So it's untraceable.
Yeah.
And hopefully they're being honest.
Right. Absolutely. And saying that, hey, you can absolutely use your computers after. I mean, you never trust somebody who's holding your computer for ransom.
Exactly.
Really? Oh my goodness. Okay. So
you can expand that out though.
Yes.
It's not just a computer,
right?
It's a manufacturer, and all your systems rely on data, and they're connected into your entire network. Manufacturers are the biggest growing target of cyber attacks right now in North America.
Wowzers. I guess you're right, because a lot of them are all computerized. It's all, connected to one big, centralized computer, right?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
You have systems, you have metrics of performance and stuff, downtime calculation, all the different things with manufacturing equipment that you can monitor from central hubs in a business. The average claim size for manufacturing for small, medium businesses is $130,000 for the companies we partner with to provide cyber insurance.
Yes.
Not cheap.
No, absolutely not. For sure. So how does somebody get started with that?
How do you get started with cyber insurance? Is you call an insurance broker such as ourselves, BSI Insurance, and we walk you through it. We specialize with particular companies that are cyber insurance specialists, not just add-ons to policies that are thrown in for set amounts of coverage, but we deal with companies, and what they do is they will help you when the risk is happening.
Okay.
They also act as a virtual cyber fire department, so to speak, to help you put out the fire. They will restore data. They will help actually do the underlying things, not just pay out the cost of lost damages or whatever else happens in terms of interruption for business, which we call business interruption insurance. They help you remediate and repair during and after the attack or situation, whatever it may be.
Okay.
So we help price that out for you. We use companies, and what we do is we will go and actually do a what we call a light and dark web audit of your company and find out where compromises have been using publicly available data that is shared on the dark web and on the open internet, and then provide a threat vector of where your exposures are. Email addresses that have been compromised, that are other accounts that are sitting out there that have been hacked or spammed or been targeted and compromised. We can work on domain name problems, all sorts of things. And we help show that to the client and say, hey, this is where your exposure is. This is what's compromised. You may need to set up a whole new email naming protocol because you have too many emails compromised that are within your company server.
Right, exactly. And so that is a lot of the damage control that you may not know how to navigate yourself when you get to these places, right? So absolutely.
Your previous guest, volunteer fire department. What happens when you have a fire? We call a fire department. Well, what happens if your computer network's down? Your company won't start up. Your small business won't do anything.
Yes.
What happens if someone hacks your Google Home device? Do you know the first hack that ever happened on an Alexa was someone who had an automated smart home, had their windows open in Palo Alto, California, and someone yelled, "Hey, Alexa, open the front door." Walked up, the door was opened.
Oh my goodness.
How simple this stuff happens. And you need expert advice on how to cover it and how to get remediated when it does happen to you.
Exactly.
And the area that we work in our sales area has a huge agricultural, industrial manufacturing base. And this is something that we are trying to educate our clients about and all others, that it's not as simple as, oh, I've got a cyber endorsement. It's much more diverse.
Right. Exactly. Wow. That is, I mean, some of those things I would never even think of that may happen, but I get what you're saying, because nowadays, all our scammers are alive and well. And we know because we get, our government of Canada phone calls all the time. But if they're doing that kind of stuff, of course, they're behind the scenes figuring out.
Absolutely.
Right.
The criminals who do this are very sophisticated.
Yes.
And they will plug away. There's the denial of service attacks where you overload a server so you can't conduct business anymore. And then they basically hold you ransom for that in a different capacity. You say, well, we'll stop the attack if you pay us money. I mean, there's all sorts of different levels of exposures, and it requires understanding what your business is, how it operates, to find the right coverage. Simple, oh, I just need cyber insurance doesn't work. It's not the same as I need home insurance. There's a lot of different risks, and no homes are the same either. So we will say, what is the best fit for you? What's your coverage needs, and all the other things that go into providing a comprehensive insurance solution.
That is fantastic, because the education is power. The education is power, and then that
knowledge is power.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely. To make sure that you have the ability to make that choice, an informed choice, to be able to say, hey, this is what I need for my business. And like you said, someone's going to go in and do the dirty work for you to go in and see what they can find and what is compromised, so you know exactly what's going to be the most beneficial insurance to get.
Absolutely. That's what we try and do. And cyber is such a misunderstood product and situation that it takes a lot of time to explain it.
Yes. Oh, I believe that 100%. So, and very intriguing to me. This is very intriguing. I really am enjoying the thought process behind this. Yeah. So
it makes you step out of your regular way of looking at things and think, well, what could really happen? And, in some ways, cyber could affect power grids. It could affect a whole bunch of things. And, think about all your personal banking. What happens if someone hacks your phone?
Oh, gosh.
Access to your bank accounts.
Right.
The more convenience we have in our day-to-day lives because of connected technology and the Internet of Things, the more opportunity there is for it to be disrupted.
Right.
That's what you have to think about with cyber.
Wow. That is incredible. And you're absolutely right. So if somebody hacked my phone, I have no idea. I'm like, that's it. I'm done for. It's like, I have no idea what I would do. And I live and die by my phone. So
exactly. We all do.
Most of us do, right? In this day and age, every banking app, everything else is on there. Everything is on there. So you betcha. That's it. Well, Peter, where can people get a hold of you? How can people chat with you?
Well, BSI Insurance is in communities across southeastern central Manitoba.
Right.
BSIMB.com is our website. You can reach out to us through there, and any one of our local branches. Come in, ask a question. If the answer isn't immediately there, they where to find it. And this isn't a flip the switch and get the coverage kind of product. It's an ask some questions. I'd like a review. Can you help me understand it? I might need to investigate this. We have people who are trained and licensed with the proper companies to deliver the proper solutions.
Yes, absolutely. That is wonderful. Well, I'm showing the website here on the bottom of the screen, and also it'll be in the comments as well, bsimb.com. And so we've got that up there, and hopefully people can take, awareness. Awareness is a huge key. So just being aware that this can even be happening is a great start to say, hey, I am going to need some cyber insurance.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming and joining me here, Peter. I really appreciated that. And also,
you're very welcome.
Thank you so much for dealing with my technical difficulties today. So I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. Have a great day, Maria.
You too. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Oh, dear. That is me always. Like, it is just on this side of things, sometimes it is just incredible how technical these things are. And then I can do everything the same way one day and it doesn't work the next day. And that's okay with me. That is just how it goes. Well, guys, I'm going to share with you a video here. You know Candace from Pure Anada. She is incredible. And she has done a fantastic segment for us this morning for health and beauty. So she's going to be doing this, I think, once a month. I think that was the agreement, to kind of do once a month. She's got some amazing tips for us. So let me do that for you right now. Let's get her the video file here, sharing right away. Have a great watch.
Hi there, it's Candace here from Pure Anada. Now it's that time of year here in Canada where the air is starting to hurt our face. It's been so very cold, and this can really do a number on our skin. So today I'd like to give you some winter skincare survival tips in an effort to keep your skin really hydrated and healthy through this season. So I have this little story. One time I was in a shopping center and someone came out from a kiosk, stopped me and wanted to test how dry my skin was. So they put this little gadget on my cheek and they kind of went click, click, click. And then they told me that the results were that my skin was 60% dry. So I asked them if I was lacking oil or water. And that had the lady stumped and she didn't know what to say. So I was able to sneak away before she had a chance to sell me her $100 cream, which was a good thing. See, there's a difference between lacking oil and lacking water when it comes to your skin. So we all produce different levels of sebum or oil. Sebum is the technical name for the oils we produce. If your body doesn't produce a lot of oil on its own, then you're lacking moisture or oil. Now this often feels like tight skin and it's often quite sensitive. And if you have dry skin, you'll identify with what I'm saying when you experience that relief when you put on your daily moisturizer. That's me. But when it comes to hydration, anyone can lack water, even people with oily skin. So dehydrated skin, on the other hand, often manifests itself as flaky skin. And as I said, it happens to all skin types. So maybe you're someone who has oily skin, but have little flakes by the side of your mouth or between your eyes. This is dehydration. Now, drinking water helps to hydrate your cells, but it's also important to hydrate them externally. And I'll tell you how to do that in just a minute. So my most important winter skincare advice is to start with your evening skincare ritual. Do you know that you can lose up to 1.5 to 2 pounds of water overnight? That's why if you weigh yourself, which I actually don't recommend, but if you do, weigh yourself in the morning because that's when you'll feel the most light. So it is very important to lock in moisture and hydration into your skin overnight. Now here is what I recommend. First, you are going to cleanse your skin. Gently remove makeup using any one of our skincare cleansers. They're all pH balanced and gentle on your skin. And if you wish for a little bit of extra exfoliation, you can use our exfoliating cleanser, which has little tiny jojoba beads for some mechanical exfoliation to remove some of that flaky skin, as well as fruit enzymes that really help to soften the skin cells. And that's what we call enzymatic exfoliation. And then the second step is to hydrate your skin. Now this is where you want to infuse your cells with water or hydration. Now you can use any one of our facial mists, Victorian facial mist, garden facial mist, or the marine mineral hydrating toner. They all include an amazing ingredient called hyaluronic acid. Now hyaluronic acid has the ability to hold 500 to 1,000 times its weight in water. So it really helps to plump your skin cells with hydration, which is just what we need this time of year. But even better than a facial mist, if you really want to pack a punch of hydration, is to use our smooth priming serum, which is concentrated with 2 molecular weights of hyaluronic acid. So just a couple drops, one for each side of your face, and massage it into your skin until it's completely absorbed. And then the third step is to moisturize. Now this is the step where we want to give your cells a boost of oil or moisture. Now, if your body produces a lot of oils naturally, even in wintertime, you can just skip this step. But incidentally, a little bit of oil isn't bad for oily skin either. So we recommend our Repair Luxury Treatment. It's a skincare oil. Again, just a couple drops on your face and massage it into your skin. And the last step is skin cream. Applying your favorite Pure Anada skin cream is the last step that really helps to pull in all this nourishment deep into the layers of your skin. Now you can choose any one of your favorite moisturizers at this point, but a good one for winter is our hydrating cream with berry and bouquet, as well as the Revive Moisturizing Serum, which has coenzyme Q10 and more hyaluronic acid. So when you do this routine in the evening in dry seasons, I promise that you will wake up with the smoothest, healthiest skin possible, because you will have locked in all the moisture and really protected your skin from losing hydration or water while you sleep. And that is the goal. And then when you wake up in the morning, I'm going to advise you to do something that you might not expect. I suggest that you do not wash your face. Now, this is because your skin will have built up this beautiful pH balanced layer overnight. This is called the acid mantle. And so if you wake up with a little bit of oil, just rub it into your skin. Or if your body produced a lot of oil, okay, you can cleanse it gently with maybe one of our gentle cleansers, or even just take a facial mist, spray it onto a cotton pad, and wipe away that excess oil. And then you go on to hydration, which again, use one of our facial mists or smooth priming serum if you want that real big boost of hydration. Then for the daytime, you might want to skip the step of moisturizing the skincare oil. You can if you feel like you need it, but sometimes too much oil during the day can cause your foundation to slip and slide on your face. So if you wear makeup, you might want to skip the oil for the daytime. But just go ahead and apply your favorite Pure Anada moisturizer and you're good to go, protecting your face during the day. Now, if you ever find that your skin gets a little bit tight during the day, maybe midday or later in the afternoon, all of our hydrating facial mists come in little mini travel size bottles. So you can just give yourself a little facial mist at any time. It won't disrupt your makeup, and it just helps to kind of soften that tightness that happens during the day in wintertime. Now, I hope that gives you some tips on how to care for your skin this winter using Pure Anada products, but essentially this regime could be translated to any one of your favorite skincare brands, as long as you take care to hydrate your skin, typically with a product containing hyaluronic acid, and then moisturize it with a skincare oil, and then pulling all that nourishment in with your favorite moisturizer.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Candace, for putting that video together for me. I love this. This was so fantastic and so educating for me as well. That is one thing I absolutely love, is when we can come on here, we can tell people the things that they can do to prevent different things that happen during the winter time, because we all know our skin all acts differently. And now let's add a mask on top of that. I know that my skin reacts very poorly when I have a mask on all day. So a lot of these suggestions is something I'm going to take on, so that I can actually make sure that I am having the best skin possible. So that way, then I know it's not that tight feeling and everything. So thank you, Candace. I really appreciate it. And next up, thank you guys very much for all of my guests this morning. I really want to thank you for coming on and sharing with me. Harry Siemens, always such a pleasure to have you here. Chris from Gallery Wealth Management, that was fantastic information. Greg from the Altona Fire Department, who has maybe awakened a little bit of volunteerism in the fire department in me. Here we go. And Peter, thank you so much for chatting about cyber insurance. I really am so thankful for that. So take a look out, you guys, this Wednesday for Lorena Mitchell, who runs our Evolution Green Work show. She's on Wednesday night at 8. And then, of course, we have a really special, wonderful guest for Women in Business. We're recording our episode tonight, so we'll see you on Thursday night at 8. And coming soon to the network, we have a lot of fun shows. So I know the next step here is Cindy Grenier. She's a realtor, and she's got a fantastic real estate show coming up for you as well. Once again, thank you to all of our incredible sponsors. We could not do this without you. You are incredible. Thank you so very much. And guys, I just love being here with you. You can connect with me on Instagram, Maria Fraze. You can connect with me on Facebook under Maria Fraze. I also have a business page, Maria Fraze. So you can find me all over the place. So that way, if you're missing me during the week, you can always take a look there and see what we are doing. So have a great rest of your day, guys. I'm so excited to have been here with you. And I hope that you guys enjoy this beautiful, beautiful week. We'll talk to you again soon. Have a great, great, great rest of your day.